So is the market changing right now? Now, I'm not gonna lie, this video is absolutely a little clickbait, but at the same time, the last 2 to 3 weeks, specifically here in Durham, has been pretty interesting. Hey there, my name is Kyle Duke with Rebel Real Estate, and I've been selling real estate full-time in the Durham region and the surrounding areas for the last 8 years. Now, since it's way too early to make the actual call, whether we're seeing a market cool down or some sort of shift period, if you're an active buyer or a passive buyer and you're on realtor.ca consistently, you've probably recognized that there's been more inventory daily hitting the market. Now, we had this exact same thing happen last year where we had about a 2 to 3 week window of about 100 to 120 new homes hit the market each day, which essentially cooled off the market for a small period of time. But again, in about 2 or 3 weeks after that period in April of 2021, the inventory dropped again and it was back to a crazy buying frenzy market. And this is the exact same thing that's happening right now, but in February. Now, the question to ask yourself is this the new market? Are more people deciding to sell because we're recognizing we're at the ceiling? Or is it people just trying to take advantage of the market again for that small period of time before we get closer to the spring market? Now, if you really break it down, and I can speak on my experience, typically when I have offers on my listings, there's usually 2 or 3 offers that are just far greater than everybody else. And more often than not, those buyers have lost multiple homes multiple times, and they're buying with the fear of loss and based on emotion. And because it's the new normal that everybody's used to within the market, it's not surprising that we're seeing these prices go crazy like they have been over the last 2 years. Now, that being said, I think it's pretty important for people to understand what's going on right now in the market. Now, in my opinion, I think we are at the ceiling. And the reason why I say that, because over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've seen properties be listed for a certain price, not sell or get any offers at all, or not get the number that they were expecting, cancel and relisting their home for $300,000 or $400,000 higher than what they originally listed for, because they're going based off of the sales data, which I totally understand. Now, when a buyer goes searching for a property, their agent's gonna notify them, or they should, on how many offers are on that home on offer night. If you've been so conditioned to 15, 20, 30 offers on each property, and then in a 2-week span, you see more inventory come out, almost double actually, and the amount of offers on offer night goes down to 3, 4, 5, definitely that's gonna impact the mindset of a buyer. They're going to start asking themselves these questions of, do I need to pay this much over asking? Is the market slowing down? Should I take a step back and see what's going on? Those are all things that buyers are asking themselves today. And for sellers, since the benchmark was set so high in January, I don't blame them for trying to take advantage of the market. So in the coming weeks, I think what you'll start to see is more and more people test the market to see, if someone pays me X for my home, then I'll move. And now myself personally, I've been on more listing appointments in the last few weeks with people that are moving out of province. They're going to PEI, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, because they're cheaper markets and they're trying to cash out here in Ontario. Now, that being said, we are getting closer to the spring market, and with that market, you do see more inventory come out, which is going to result in more competition for people who were considering to sell during those times. Now, when we look at the amount of inventory that's coming out, we're definitely seeing less showings on properties. We're seeing less offers. Because there's more inventory and buyers are spread out, they have more options. And in my opinion, I think that's the best thing that could have happened in this market right now, because homes that were not being prepared or presented correctly were still getting all this attention that they never would in a normal market. Now, with this flood of inventory, is it actually going to make a huge impact on the market? It's impossible to definitively say that that's actually taking place. But if you really break it down, buyers have more options, they're spread out more. All those things are going to play into effect on what properties are selling for as more inventory continues to come out to the market. Now, if you look at the market as a whole, buyers who are trying to purchase under $1 million are the ones that are struggling the most. And it seems as if every single property that's listed for $699, $799, $899 are almost guaranteed to sell over $1 million, which most of the time is true because of the lack of inventory. If the inventory continues, it's inevitable that buyers are going to have more opportunity later in the year to get into the market. Now, just because there's more inventory and buyers are spread out and there's less offers on homes, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to get a property under asking or even for list price right now. Not yet, at least. There are multiple scenarios that need to take place for it to actually see a real shift in the marketplace, but this is a small sign that we are starting to see a little bit of a cool down if the inventory continues the way it is right now. And with that, you'll start to see properties being listed more realistic versus what the seller wants versus to try and spark a bidding war. And with the bidding war situation, I understand that a lot of people think realtors are controlling that. That's our job. We're trying to spark as much interest for the property. And if you were selling your home with me, I would do the exact same thing for you. So if the inventory does continue like this, I think what you'll start to see is a lot of those homes that were not being prepared properly from those agents that were just looking for a quick sale and trying to sell your house in 24 hours, they're going to be exposed. Whether it's a seller's market, a balanced market, or a buyer's market, you still need to prepare your home properly. Those agents that are going in and out of people's doors saying you don't need to do any work, no photography, no marketing, no nothing, those people are going to get exposed for doing absolutely nothing and get pushed out of the marketplace. So where do I see the market in the next few weeks or even months as we head into the spring market? I do think that we are starting to see small signs of a changing or balanced market, which I think is the best thing for it. So if you were a buyer and you were completely turned off with the way the market is and you didn't want to buy in this frenzy, I totally understand that, but there might be light at the end of the tunnel for you. Again, it may take months to see an actual true trend, and this could just be a blip in the market like it happened last year. But with the amount of inventory that's coming out daily, it's very promising for buyers looking to get into the market. I will continue to monitor the market, and if I see any sort of changes that are consistent with what I'm seeing right now, I will definitely make another video. And if you have any questions at all about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, my name is Kyle Duke. Thank you very much for taking the time today, and I'll talk to you soon.